Hey guys, this is a mechanic task guide for import control. This is an event task where we do have to eliminate 10 scavs on factory and also find 5 Western scav weapons in raid and then hand them over to mechanic. So in terms of killing scavs on factory, this won't end up being too difficult to complete. It will just end up being time consuming if you're not used to factory or don't like PvP. And because of this event, your factory lobbies will likely be completely full every time that you do load in, meaning that you should be thinking all the time that there is 6 PMCs including yourself each time that you do load into a factory raid. And my goal when I go into factory for any task is that I typically try to clear the lobby, or at least to clear the entire side of the map that I'm working on. For example, either the entire offices side or the med tent and the forklift side. And then I'll slowly start to chip away at my tasks when it's relatively safe, or until I can wipe the entire lobby or account for all the dead PMCs. If you are able to do this, then you will essentially have the entire map to yourself so that you don't end up being interrupted while fighting scavs or even Tagilla if he did happen to spawn in. And during this event, Tagilla does seem to be very commonly spawning on the map, but he's definitely not 100%, as I have had multiple raids without him there. So on factory, you can easily get the 10 scav kills in one single raid, but one thing to keep in mind is that once you do get to around the 13 or 14 minutes left in a factory raid, then that's when you're going to start to see the player scavs start spawning in. And honestly, after the initial PvP fights that you do encounter with other PMCs, then these player scavs are going to be the biggest issue that you're going to run into, especially if a whole bunch of player scavs end up getting into your lobby in quick succession. So I just make sure to keep that in the back of my mind, that once we hit the 13 or 14 minute mark, then it can again start to become chaotic. And at that point, then there's definitely no shame in just going and resetting the lobby all over again. Now, the other aspect of this task is that you do need to find 5 of the Western scav weapons, which I do have a photo on the screen right now outlining the caliber of weapons that do classify as Western. And you'll also visibly be able to tell these weapons, as you will see the golden check on them, which is going to be easy to spot. But basically, getting your hands on these weapons is going to be the more difficult aspect of this task, rather than just eliminating scavs on factory. So essentially what you want to do is to check every single scav body that you do eliminate or that you come across, just to see if they do have one of the weapons that you may need. And after you do get your 10 scav kills on factory, then you can also move to any map that you do want in order to try to farm these found in raid weapons. You can also go and even attempt to use your own scav and see if you do spawn in with one of these, or to loot around on your scav and see if you can find one on an unlooted scav or PMC that nobody else picked up. Or if you did happen to kill a PMC while on your scav or your own PMC, then it's definitely worth checking their backpack to see if they did take one of these guns that they do need and throw them in there also. So hopefully you guys did find this guide useful and it does help you to complete this task. Thank you guys for checking out my video on this, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.